Yo, what's up with it? It's KT, Oregon and Park. You know what time it is. You know what I'm saying? We got a talented artist in here, singer, songwriter, R&B, hip hop, going crazy. Who we got right here?
What's good, everybody? It's Dymnd.
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 Welcome.
Dymnd, oh Dymnd.
Dymnd, oh Dymnd. So your real name is Dymnd? I guess your real name?
No, it ain't my real name. It ain't my real
What's
name.
your real name?
My real name is Lauren. Like
Lauren?
Lauren Hill.
Okay. So where do you get Dymnd from?
Dymnd, it actually came from, me just really going through it, to be honest. I went through a lot of changes, I would say, in my life growing up too. Grew up actually out in the Bay Area. And so, just family issues and things like that. And then, of course, relationship issues, and a lot of my music stems from that. And I just overcame a lot of things in my life and obstacles, and I'm like, I'm a
I'm
diamond.
glad to hear that you overcame Diamond in the Rough.
Yes.
Overcoming obstacles. I see.
Yes.
So tell the audience a little bit about how you came up, where you from.
So I was born in Los Angeles County in El Monte, California. But majority of my life I was raised up in the Bay Area, Oakland to be exact, and Hayward, San Leandro. So I don't really claim just like one area, but the Bay Area is,
So would you say the
home.
Bay is where you got most of your seasoning from?
Bay, that part.
Hey, that's some good seasoning.
You feel me?
That's some good seasoning. That Bay Area seasoning
Yes.
is some of the best quality.
And being in the Bay, I got seasoned with a lot of great talent right now, actually, that you guys everybody listens to right now. Filthy Rich, honestly, is who pushed me growing up to around, I was like maybe 17, 18, and he pushed me to do my first mixtape. So ever since then, like, I've just been doing music, to be honest.
So what was it like, the household like? I know you were moving around a lot. Did you always live with the same people?
Well, no. So being with, my parents and stuff, obviously, but they divorced, and so at that time my mom was heavy on drugs, and to this day she still is, but that's still my mom. And so that's the rough part too in my life, where I started staying with family members or my grandmother, and then my godmom, shout out Felicia, Mama Fee. And I say godmom because really she came in a time in my life where it was just bad. Like, I was 16, well, really like 15 and a half, 16, and my mom was really heavy on drugs. And Tonika, my sis, she was somebody I was going to school with at that time too. I was going to James Logan out in Union City. And living with them at that time, because my mom was just kind of all over the place, but she took me in, and ever since then I was staying with them. But we were in Oakland, and then from Oakland we went to San Lorenzo.
So what age would you say you noticed that, okay, my life really not normal, typical, like I'm actually going through some shit? Like, when did it start to hit you like, oh yeah, I'm
16.
Yeah.
16, very crucial part, in my life, where I really needed my mom. But to be honest with you, it was music that really got me through a lot of things.
In what way?
Well, just expressing myself and being able to, put what I was going through at that time into my music. And so, you know, every day I was going to the studio down there. Right after work and school, I was going to Chabot for a little bit. And just going to the studio every day in Hayward, to be honest. I was going to 24 Hertz at that time, going to that studio, and then going to the studios with Phil and all them. Shit, we was doing it, like, and really that's what got me through.
Nice.
Because, you know, when you, I don't know, for everybody, you know, everybody has their own outlet, right, when they go through things, but it was the music.
Right. So what was Pops like?
Pops, biological father, not in my life. You know, but I had a stepdad.
And I don't mean to interrupt you, but it's so typical a lot of times where it's always the moms usually always be the ones it's really atypical that you hear my mom's was in my life, my pops was just raising me. I hear a lot about the father. What do you think is the importance, you know?
It stopped recording on the Pro Tools. He's coming back right now.
Oh, it's not recording?
Yeah, it stopped recording.
We're recording, so.
Okay.
We still got it. You know what I'm saying? We'll catch the audio. I'll edit it to make sure the audio streamlined.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to keep going right now, but just wait till things occur.
No, I'll keep going.
Alright.
Yeah.
But, you know, so how do you think not having your biological father in your life growing up affected you?
Man, it affected me deep, I would say, because, you know, just, well, for me, growing up, you know, it was always this, oh, well, you know, it's your father, oh, well, then you hear another family member say, well, that's not really your dad, and then that was so confusing, too. But then we've come to find out I am his, and you know, it's just already kind of too late at that time. And so just mentally, that was a lot.
Now, how does it affect women growing up not having a father, do you think?
I mean, to me, I feel it plays a big role because that's somebody that's, you're supposed to have like security from, protection, you know, that guidance too, you know, just to, you know, game you up on things about men or whatever the case is, you know.
Does it matter if it's a stepdad or a real dad that's the one that's doing that?
No, it don't matter. I feel stepfather, I mean, that's who raised me, was a stepfather. He stepped up and, you know, he played his part.
Shout out to the good stepdaddies out there.
Shout
Playing
them out,
your role
for real.
and raising the kid. You the realest.
For real.
You the realest for sure.
And I will say a lot of my, you know, qualities that I have about myself came from my stepdad. I ain't even gonna cap. My stepdad. My mom, yeah, the, you know, dominant. She was real, like, you know, assertive, and then she had a crazy side to her too. You know, my mom likes to be in the streets.
I feel like, tell me if I'm wrong, I feel like women who are raised by women grow up with that independent mindset
They do.
when they get older. Now, do you think having that independent mindset, what's the pros and the cons of being an independent woman?
I would say for like pros, being independent women, I mean, you're able to, I mean, and I can't speak for every woman, you know, every woman has their own prerogative on life and how they get through things, but as for me, I would say like I had a lot of time to reflect and to understand who I am, because you know, I had a big child at a young age too, and so it was, you know, being independent, also single mom, I'll throw that in there. You know, you have to step up a little bit more, and you know, it was a struggle. I ain't gonna cap, it was a struggle, but independently, I was able to get through a lot of those things because I was able to understand and know what I was going through and, you know, have a different outlook on things rather than, you know, having just negative people around or whatever. You know, I knew how to separate things and I knew how to be strong and just know how to
So what's the
know how to
cons? What's the cons of being a strong, independent woman? There's the pros, and I understand the pros. Like, nobody can really tell y'all shit. You really got, you feel me? Nobody can tell you shit because you do your own shit. You got your own shit, and you handle your own shit. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So what's the other side? What's the dark side to that? That people don't see.
You know, having those times by yourself. You know, and like I said, self-reflect. You know, you have those lonely times, and just having maybe nobody to really lean on. I didn't have nobody really to lean on. I probably had maybe one person, and I'm thankful for that one person in my life. You feel me? But you know, just before even that one person came along, it was just hard. Struggle, pain, a lot of pain, a lot of hurt, a lot of, you know, just confused about certain things, but, you know, at the end, it was like, okay, you gotta figure this out.
To me, it seems like independent women be so numb to like their feelings and stuff, and because I'm getting some insight because y'all go through that stage of being lonely and having to deal with those emotions by yourself. When it comes to the point of dealing with men and like in a relationship, it seemed like y'all not actually there. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it seemed like y'all numb to a lot of shit. Like, fuck you, nigga. Like,
and that comes from, you know, trauma, I would say. And yeah, a lot of us have different trauma, grow up with different types of trauma. Right. But a lot of people, like I said, I can't speak for everybody, but you know, when you're in those lonely times and those dark moments, you know, sometimes it's either you stay in those spaces or you rise up from out of those spaces. But it's really you mentally. You gotta really be mentally strong, and you know, have to find that inner. I don't know how to explain it. Like the inner deep
that beast mode type.
Yeah,
shit.
Because sometimes you get pushed to the edge.
From a man's perspective, it's like going into beast mode.
Yeah, like, and us women, we go into some beast mode. Some beast modes be different than other females. You feel me? But but at the end of the day, you know, it's up to us to find ourselves and to know who we are and to stand on, like my song 10 Toes, stand on something or just fall for anything out there.
So one more question on that. And it's going to relate to being an independent woman and dating again. So when a man, when you date an independent woman, why, let me see if I'm phrasing this right. It seemed like y'all get rid of a nigga like hella easily. Like nigga, it be good niggas out there. It's like if we fuck up, like independent women, like, oh, I ain't gotta deal with that shit. Well, fuck you, nigga. Like, don't even give niggas chances. Do you think that's okay as independent woman, or it's not okay? And I'm not talking personally either. All right, it's not about personal shit. But do you think that it's okay to be like that? Like, you feel me? Independent, like, don't give a fuck? Or do you think, nah, that's really not okay?
Well, I mean, no. Having a bad attitude and all that, I'm not cool with that. I don't even be around females like that, to be honest. Because, you know, I notice some females haven't really found themselves.
You more humble, independent.
And I'm just more, yes, and I just rather stay in my space.
Got it. So back on track.
But it's not okay. Sorry. It's not okay. It's not.
I'm glad you said that.
No.
So, music. When did music start in your life? Like when you start creating music, and I remember you mentioned it was been a very important part of your life. You know, when did it start becoming more of a creative thing for you? Like, this is my stuff I'm putting out.
I would say when I was about 17 years old, when I dropped my first mixtape. That's when I really was writing, I would say. Because before, I mean, I was like 11 when I really started recording in the studios. I would have like my uncle or somebody, because he was rapping then, they'll write some hooks for me, and then I would just like sing them on their tracks. And then I would watch them write and, do things in the studio and stuff. So then as I got older, about 16, I started writing and then did the mixtape. And then after that, I moved actually from the Bay to Southern Cali. And then from there, I was like about maybe 19, 20 when I moved out that way. I started working with this Latin producer, and he also got me into writing and being around like real live instruments and stuff like that, singing with live bands. And I was doing background singing out there at the Orange shows in San Bernardino.
Nice.
And so, and I've done interviews too at a young age, but just being around just those different people got me into really writing. And so, yeah, from like 16 going now, I've just been really writing in my bag.
So, when you were 16, what did some of those songs, the content rather, sound like? What were you writing about?
I was young. I was I was writing about, like some town stuff.
Like that? No,
it was like rap R&B, to be honest. Like, I was more rap, I would say rap singing.
And what years is this?
This was like
16.
This was like 06.
No, I'm saying when he was like 16.
Yeah.
Okay,
like,
so.
Yeah, like around 06.
Oh, not my phone.
Silence.
I'm in the middle of the interview. I gotta call you back, gang. You know I'm working. Alright. Now, no, that's the next person I'm interviewing, Jaleese, from out there in SAC. But, so, that era, 06 to 07, that sound like hyphy movement type era.
It was. It was. I
So
grew up around that era.
it seemed like you was like maybe singing on hooks and stuff, and like really singing. Like what was your first song?
Well, my first song that I like put out off my mixtape that was kind of getting out there was off that Tierra Marie. Is there any boys in the town? Well, I said.
Oh, I like how you just.
in the town that know how to make a girl feel. Know how to make. Yeah, I was doing that.
Oh, we just got a little spicy little intermission in there. Okay, I like how you made that switch. No, that's good though. And so, from that point, you started taking music seriously, like.
I did. I started writing more. I started like collaborating with like other artists and stuff that were just kind of like up and coming, and put them. I put a few people on my mixtape that I knew from out there in Oakland, and honestly, you say hyphy and all that. D-Lo is one of the persons I actually went to school with.
Is that right?
Yeah, D-Lo and I went to school. Shout out D-Lo.
Yeah, shout out to D-Lo.
But yeah, he was actually just doing his music then. But yeah.
So you ever started rapping, like you putting down like real raps, or has it always been singing?
No, it honestly, the latest track that I just did with my girl Benji Bella, shout out Benji. I was rapping a little bit on there. I was rap singing though.
So what do you think about the change from the music scene when you were on the come up, 06, 07, 08, 2010, all that stuff, early 2010s to 2024 and what we got? How do you think the music scene has shifted, and and like what do you hear, and like what is your take on it?
Well, it's definitely shifted because back then, I mean, we had MySpace and we had CDs back then. I still got my mixtape CD right now. And then too, we was out more in the communities. We was, everywhere, kind of like just on the streets, just trying to promote. It was like you had like, back then it was like you had a street team and all different stuff like that. I mean, we got it now too.
Passing out CDs and stuff
but
like
it was different. It was CDs and posters. You had Rasputin back then, right there in San Leandro too. Everybody used to be at that one. Or San Lorenzo right there. Yeah, and then now it's like, to me now it's kind of better too, because you're able to use the platforms that they have now, like Instagram. I mean, Instagram's just one, but there's so many other ones, TikTok and, and so forth. But you're able to get your music now even more out there when you're able to promote and just market your stuff, your craft.
So, internet has definitely changed the way
it shifted a lot of stuff.
The way we consume music and the way music is distributed. So,
and it's different.
Have you always been working, like going hard since you first started singing till now? Have you ever had intermissions? And
I have, and that's part of why I am called Dymnd, because I did go through, obstacles trying to still do music, and I went through a bad relationship. I mean, everybody kind of goes through those at a young age, especially when young and thinking you're gonna be with that person forever. But just going through that kind of set me back, to be honest. And so there was a time where it was just like, okay, everybody go through that where they gotta get their shit together. But then it's like, is this now really what I want? I left a relationship, and it was due to not being able to be who I am. I'm an artist, and that's just who I am. I knew that since I was very young, at a young age. And, I love music. I'm going to be out. I'm going to be in the studios. But, again, everybody know how that go with relationships and being an artist or whatever, entrepreneur, whoever you are. Be who you are. Don't stop being who you are. But I just, I had to do a lot of reflecting, and like I said, I had to figure that out, and that was hard and tough, but I did, and I'm being who I am right now.
So let's get deeper into that. How do you think that bad relationship had an imprint and effect on your life after that? Like on how, you viewed life, dealing with other people, stuff like that. How do you think that relationship had an effect on how you thought?
Oh man, I mean, it played a big part because, too, I mean, I was just, again, not being able to express myself, and the only way and the outlet was through my music, to be honest. Had it not been for me being able to express myself, then I'd be beating myself up in that relationship. And so, yeah, I chose me, basically. I had to.
So for the young ladies who are watching this and who will watch you in the future and have and are following you, what would you say? What would you tell them about what you experienced, and like basically like a little gem about relationships and being yourself? What would you say to them?
I would say to the young ladies out there that, you know, if you are going to date, find someone that's going to allow you to be who you are. And, I would say don't rush into it either, because you don't know who you are really fully right now. I'm still going through things and figuring it out, but I want to be able to show young women that you still can, even though you have children, you still can do what you want to do in life. Just don't allow, I would say, can't say that word, but I would just say the people that just don't see greatness in you and don't see what you're trying to do, your vision. Don't allow those people to interfere. Keep going.
Got you. So, keep moving on. I heard that you sang in church too.
Yeah.
So, how did you start developing your vocal skills? And was it church that did it? And tell us about the development of your vocal skills to where it is now.
Well, church, yes. I was singing in church, but I will say I used to listen to a lot of Michael Jackson growing up. Mariah Carey, that is the person that actually helped develop a lot of the different pitches that I can hit. I mean, just listening to those artists back in those days, Whitney Houston, I was just so in tuned that I didn't let the microphone down. My grandma literally bought one of these microphone stands for Christmas just because of me. And I would sing to the family during Christmas and stuff. But yeah, I just been singing.
So now that you in this stage of your life, what would you say kept you motivated to keep going throughout all this stuff and to keep pushing and never give up on the dream of music?
I would say my kids. My daughter, I really wanted to show her and my son that, you can be and do whatever you want to do. And so I would say my kids. My kids pushed me. My kids really motivated me to keep going, So
it's different for kids growing up in this generation than it was for us growing up. I'm 28, so I had a little bit of a pre-internet thing going on,
Yeah.
And you had a pre-internet thing going on. How do you manage what the kids take in and what they're exposed to in this age?
Good question. Well, I used to work at a juvenile hall out here. And so I've seen, and the after school programs, I've seen a lot. Okay.
Bad kids.
I've seen a lot, but my take on it though is, a lot of it stems from our homes. Like we go back to growing up, childhood trauma and things like that. All those things play a part in our communities. I'm a minority, you're a minority. I mean, we didn't see a lot, growing up or whatnot, just growing up in different areas and stuff like that. So, at the same time though, we do have a choice. At the end of the day, we know right from wrong. You feel me? So it's like, but then too, some people are just so deep into it, you know, what they're going through and like it. Sometimes it's hard to shake, and it took me a minute. I ain't gonna cap. It took me a minute, but it's. I would say, you know, it stems from the home.
Yeah, it does. It does. So there's artists that are like you, who's R&B, sing, you know, make real good quality music, and then there's other female artists who are on a different scale, like the Sexy Reds and the Lottos, Ice Spices, who are on a different level, you know, with what they put out there.
Right.
Do you think that one is better than the other? Like what you put out is better than what they put out, or vice versa?
Well, I honestly don't listen to a lot of the mainstream stuff. But, I mean, I would say, you know, they go hand in hand to me, kind of, in a sense.
I mean, because it's fun music. You
It
put
is.
it on.
It is.
You in the club and you hear the Sexy
You
Reds
gonna turn up if you lit. Yeah.
Everybody's going crazy. Everybody's going crazy.
That's me. That's
Men
me.
and females.
That's me.
Everybody's yanking up to that.
No, they are. And I fuck with some of that music too. Like, I will, especially if I'm going out. Like, that's why I say, like, I don't really listen to it like that. But if I'm out, oh yeah, I'm turning up with, you know, my bitches.
Do you make music like that?
No, I don't.
Will you?
Nah, I probably won't. I mean, I'm more sticking to my R&B. I mean, don't get me wrong though. Off my album, I have a song called "Sex with You," and that was very explicit. But, and I was, you know, talking to one of my friends, like, you know, that sounds like a stripper type song, and I'm just like, well, shit, play it in the strip club then. But I'm just saying, like, that's not my lane. You feel me? That's not my lane.
Now, would you be willing to compromise that R&B singing stuff if a label is to, you know, say one of their terms is, you know, we want you to start doing kind of what we want you to do, and putting out, you know, we want you to here's your outfit that we want you to wear, and it's like scantily, like, you know, or here sing this hook on this song, and it's something that you've never said, like some shit. Are you willing to in order to cross over, are you willing to compromise some of the things that you wouldn't necessarily do in order to cross over? No. Really?
Nah, I couldn't. I mean, because again, it goes back to me being who I am. Because then now I'm just kind of like, you feel me? Like, I'm doing some shit and it's really not me. And then now I got to stick to that fucking image. Like, you know, and then it's like, I don't want to put that shit on. Like, that's not what I really wear. Look, I'm more like, you know, comfortable.
Yeah.
I'm comfortable. Still a little cute, sexy, whatever, but yeah. So yeah, I mean, yeah.
So no, you would not be willing to compromise any
I mean,
values.
if it's like, say, like, you feel me, like one of the artists wants to do a song, and because I just did a song with somebody and I'm over here talking about, you know, bend me over and all this type of stuff. I mean, the song, yeah, but as far as like, you know, signing and then just like, hey, this is what we want you to do. That's kind of like a plant, like
yeah, kind of. And
kind of, you know.
There is a lane for your style of music. You got the Hers, you know. Who else there? There's the Hours and Hours, Mooney Long. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, yeah, like.
Yeah, you got that. You got y'all got y'all lane. What do you think you have to do in order to separate yourself in order to achieve mainstream status?
That's a good question, to be honest, because I do listen to what is out there, but then I really don't. So it's like...
There's a lot of people doing the same thing that we all do.
Yeah.
What do you think will make it so that you stand out and cross over?
I would say working with the right, because I don't work with songwriters or anything like that. So I would say to maybe cross over and maybe get to maybe a different type of level with the music, working with some songwriters, you know, really trying to work with more of the producers that are out there. I mean, shout out Little Reese, that's who I've really been working with out of San Francisco.
Reese taking to church?
Huh?
Is it? Oh, okay.
Not that one, nah.
Okay.
Little Reese, he produces, well, right now he's signed with Brent Fayez.
That's big.
That's an R&B artist. And then he's done a lot of production for Larry June, Lil Yace. So that's who I'm really working with right now. I've been working with Reese since 2017. I put out an EP with him in 2018. Go check that out. That's Dymnd, 4 C's. And, you know, we still working. So, yeah. I would say working with songwriters. So.
Working with songwriters?
Yeah, and working, you know, just, I would say, to the right engineers. You know, I work with some young engineers out here out in, you know, Stockton and stuff. But I have worked with some engineers in Los Angeles and stuff like that. I work with mainstream, and it is different. So, yeah, just kind of leveling that, I would say, the sound and production and stuff up.
So outside of music, what does your personal life look like outside of music? Like, if you're not making music, what you got going on?
Oh, well, I did start my LLC.
Okay.
Thank you. So I started that, and I'm going to have clothing, and that's something that I've really been, like, just trying to just get
because
right.
I see the swag. It's hitting.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I've been going out to Los Angeles and just trying to, you know, Garment District and stuff, trying to hit up vendors, but just trying to find the right ones.
So you a creative
material.
person. You're not just an artist that sings. You're actually a creative individual. And you want to do clothes. You want to do a bunch of stuff.
I do. I also want to have my women's program. I don't know if you checked out my website, odymnd.com. That's ODYMND. M as in Mary, N as in Nancy.
I have been on there.
Okay, so I talked a little bit at the bottom about my GEMS program. That stands for Grind, Empower, Motivate, and Sophisticate Women throughout the world. That's what I want to do.
Was Gem the name of your last album?
GEMS, yes.
It was, okay,
it was. Yeah. And I use that acronym in there, and there's some songs in there that relate to the acronym. So yeah, GEMS is the program though. And
women's program, what is the message?
So the message to the women would just really be focused on like health and wellness, and you know, I could do a lot of things under that umbrella. Like we could do financial literacy, we can do you know, hygiene etiquette, we can do all kinds of things, but it's just with different
Sounds
age
like
levels.
an independent women's club, like improving independent women.
Well, no.
We're gonna make y'all all independent women.
Well, no, don't you want a good woman, right? That has those qualities, and so it's to really, because I worked in the juvenile hall.
Number 2, you don't need a man.
Stop! No, it's not that. But it's to help, because I told you I was in the juvenile halls and stuff, and they didn't have no women's programs like that. I'm in there doing the women's program, and you know, they looked up to me, and it was like, we don't have this a lot out here. They got a lot of men's programs. They help a lot of the men, but it's like, you know, so I want to do that, and I want to, you know, take it everywhere. So
That's good.
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear that, and I'm glad to hear that you got something you want to do for the youth. So it sounds like you've got a lot of your goals mapped out. You know what I mean, so where do you see yourself, let's say, 5 years from now? A whole 5 years.
Well, in 5 years, I didn't add this in there, but I do want to have my own building to be able to provide those services there. So definitely in 5 years, I give myself about 5 years. I would say 5 years. That would be more so with the clothing taking off and really, being able to provide maybe some jobs, maybe get my daughter on payroll or something, But and then the music, hopefully something takes off with that too, right?
But it's not like music is one of the hustles.
That is one. That is one. I mean, I would love to just work and do music, though.
Yeah,
So,
of course.
but of course, I have all these other skills. I can't let them just sit either. So I'm like, okay, let me just dip into this bag and this bag. That's what I'm thinking. So it's like, okay, let's do this. Let's do the clothing. Let's do the women's program, because I'm a program director by trade. And that's what I was doing in the schools and stuff, developing programs. So I'm like, okay, and to provide jobs. Like, I want to provide jobs for people and my people, because it's hard out here. You ask anybody of minority or color, like, they ain't trying to hire us at nowhere.
Not at all.
That's what it feel like.
Not at all.
So I want to be able to do that. And that's the goal. Shoot, maybe with my music, maybe get somebody under me. I don't know. Like, sky's the limit. I don't know.
So
5 years though.
If someone's never heard of you,
Quote.
and they were to say, describe yourself in a few sentences, or say a label, or someone was to say, describe yourself in a few sentences, what would you tell them about yourself?
I would say that I'm a humble, hardworking, educated singer that is trying to create positive change with using my music in the world and
Nice.
to use my voice.
Nice. Powerful. Very powerful. Now, when it comes to how you do the women's program stuff in the local level, have you started any type of measures into getting girls to do get some of the structure in their lives and help them out with a few things? Do you do that stuff on a personal level with young ladies?
I mean, I have, to be honest. Lately, no, but I have. Me just being who I am as a person, anybody that knows me knows that I got a big heart, and I'm there. If I'm able to help, and whether it's some advice, maybe it's some shelter, whatever, like, they know they can call me. So I would say, there was a few young ladies in my life that they're my friends too.
Who was the biggest inspiration for you and the biggest motivator for you coming up?
I would say my mentor. I have a mentor. Shout out Soch. She actually, I would say, gave me the tools too to kind of be where I'm at with my LLC and music and stuff like that. So shout out Soch.
Nice. Shout out to Soch for sure. So you got the album Gems out. Tell us a little bit about the creative process behind Gems. Kind of what was the energy behind it, and what is the message behind it, if there is one?
So I would say for Gems, on the creative side, I mean, it took me, I would say, to put that out, because again, at that time I had some stuff already, kind of laid down to throw onto an album, but I wasn't ready, and I had went through some things, you feel me, and I made that song 10 Toes, You know, that was one that actually, on that creative side, I pushed myself to hurry up and get, you know, my clothes, shirts and stuff I, you know, designed or whatever, out. But, you know, then you got My Way. I'm talking about, you know, people bringing me down and just, you know, I was going through that. I had people bringing me down and just trying to just block what I was doing. And it was just like, nah, I'm having it my way now. So, you know, My Way came on the album. And then...
So you able to make songs pretty quick, or how long does it take you to make a song? What's the process?
It honestly, it don't take me that long if I'm feeling the track, for real. Like, I've been in studios with people where we've created right on the spot. Because the track and everything just took me there. Mm-hmm. But then you got, you know, I've worked with other artists where it's like, okay, well, we just got to sit and write, you know, so we can get a feel of it and get into it. So it all depends, to be honest, KT. Like, it all depends, but I could have a song done in a day.
So like
hours.
So like if I were to like put on like some like R&B type stuff right now, like we'd be able to like get like a little bit of a demo of that.
Let's see. I ain't really freestyle like that. So
like just like straight from the soul.
All right.
Think we can do that?
Let's see.
Let's see.
Don't judge me, y'all. Oh, he put on.
Let me see what you got.
Okay, hold on. I gotta sit up. It's been so long since I've seen you.
Skirmishers on the beat.
I need you here, and I've been trying to get next to you. All them late nights I've been thinking of you, constantly contemplating. I don't know what I'm saying now.
Hey, now check this out. Now we just put that shit on the spot, and she just murdered that shit. Now that's that music for the soul right there. Coming live at you. Nobody does it like Oregon Park. We got Dymnd up in here, one of the hottest up and coming singers out of Northern California, man. Doing her thing, stepping in the building, making herself known. Is this one of the hottest up and coming artists out of Northern California? I'm starting to think so.
Hey, that beat slapped though.
Hey, dude.
Where'd you find that on?
I put up Mooney Long type beat.
Okay, because it sounded like it. I almost said hours and hours.
No, but good shit though. So what do the people got to expect from you in the coming future? What kind of new drops you got coming out?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, I'm working on a few right now. One of them is with my boy Sticks. And that, actually I posted it, the hook that I created, but it's finished. Mm-hmm. It's called, what is it called? Look, I'm over here like, Free Me Up. It's called Free Me Up. So that's going to be dropping soon. I'm going to do a video to that for sure next month. And then I got this other track that his name's Chess. I think he's from the Bay, I believe, but he's done some tracks with some artists from the Bay Area back, you know. Yeah, we about to be doing something. I'm writing to something right now, actually.
You know, I'm keeping my composure. I'm still tripping out how you just did that song like that. Nah, that was fire.
Thank you.
That was really fire. So, you know, is there anything else you want to let the audience know and put out there?
Well, follow me on Instagram. That's Dymnd_O_Dymnd. And I also got my my business page, Dymnd LLC. And my website, odymnd.com, ODYMND.com. And shout out to everybody that's been just supporting me, streaming my music. That's big to me. Promoting it, sharing it, all that good stuff. Purchasing the music. I see that. So I really, really, appreciate it, and I love you guys for that. Thank you.
All right. So there it is right there. We had a good interview. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate y'all tuning in. It's Oregon Park. Let's go. Good shit. Good shit.
That was fun. That was
Good
fun.
shit.